family vlogging channel. There's Austin, Catherine, there's two kids, Elle and Alea, I think is her name. And for the past year or so, a lot of their videos have been about the saga of them building their new house. Their new 11-bedroom, 11-bathroom house. But what bothers me with them is watching some of their videos about their house is how many things they complain about, how many problems that they project onto the world that people would kill to have.
Catherine and I are in discussion of we want to move in any day now. Or
I love,
we want to wait.
because she looks literally just like one of their statues. One of a Greek bust.
So it's either we move in within the next few days with the landscape not being done, or we wait until everything is complete.
Wait, that's it?
So, the landscaping is a big part of the house, and it's what makes the house complete. So
look at their house. Look how disgusting that house is. Would you want to live there? No. Especially not if there's no grass outside yet for a temporary amount of time.
it's just a big disappointment right now.
Guys, this goes on for 4 minutes. I'm not exaggerating.
We don't know how long it's going to take.
I thought their house fucking burned down or something. You look at the thumbnail and you think, wow, something bad happened. No, it's just the trees aren't in yet.
Can we do it?
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind about the landscaping.
It's not a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal. We're making a big deal out of it, but I don't mind.
There's just so many factors into this, and we're still in the other place, in the other house, which we don't want to be in there anymore.
And it's also frustrating for us.
Okay, so maybe that's why they're frustrated. Because maybe the house they live in now kind of sucks. Maybe they live in a dinky little place that's too small for them. So let's see where they live now. Oh, they already live in a mansion. They just want to move into a bigger one. So here's an older video with a hilariously similar title, same kind of thing. We can't believe this happened to our new house. So again, you're thinking man, I'm about to feel bad for these guys. I bet something really horrible happened to their new house. Let's see what it was.
So Catherine and I are a little upset right now.
So the floor was already supposed to be done by now. In order to put the wood, you have to put the tile, and the workers put the wrong tile. So they had to take it off. And now it looks like this.
I don't know which version of Wonder Woman this is. Wonder Woman Evolution.
So obviously this is delaying things.
It just says Wonder Woman Evolution.
So you're telling me that
I love the way he
house
draws
they're
his
building
side
that's the
profile.
size of a mall.
Or whoever, I don't know
There's
if it comes
construction
first.
setbacks here and there. Oh man, it's almost like that's how all construction works. That shit just always goes wrong. Now, I totally understand why this would be frustrating for them, but the way they do it almost comes off as manipulative. When you have this very minor thing that comes up and you make a huge deal out of it, you title the video that to get people to click on the video. So in that way, you actually profited off this situation because you got a video out of it. And before you broke the bad news that people came here to see, you did this.
We're getting ready to head over to the new house. We just received some news. So I guess we'll see y'all when we get there. Ace Family, we're curious to know who wears Ace Family merch while watching the Ace Family. If you wear an Ace Family shirt or whatever it is while you're watching us, all you can do is tag us and we'll give you a shout out. And if you don't have any Ace Family merch, all you gotta do is go to shopacefamily.com. Link is always in the description. All right, Ace Family, so Catherine and I are a little upset.
That's all I gotta do to buy your shirt is go to your website and pay for it and I'll have one? I don't know, man. It just seems kind of manipulative to say, hey, I got some bad news. I'm gonna go tell you, and on the way there, I'm gonna plug our merch, and now I'm gonna say something that makes you feel bad for me. Gosh, if only there was a way to support us financially. Maybe something I just kind of mentioned a few seconds ago.
Link is always in the description.
So now we're about 5 minutes into the video where they've already subtly plugged their merch and then immediately given us incentive to buy their merch to financially support them during this trying time. So then what do? They drive back to their smaller mansion and show off the new car they just bought. And this is something they do a lot now. They go back and forth between flexing and showing off their insane amount of wealth to complaining about something that really they have no reason to complain about. Here's another example of that from their most recent video where they're finally, I guess, fully moved into their new house after months of having to live in this dump. So they start this video by showing off their big, beautiful gym with a big, beautiful view. Wait, they haven't complained about anything yet. Just give it a minute, they will.
It's so nice to be able to go from the fitness gym to our master bedroom instead of having to go all the way downstairs.
Guys, can you imagine how difficult that must have been for them? Thank God They made it out of that hellhole.
From the fitness gym to our master bedroom, so it's easy access. We don't have to go all the way downstairs and back upstairs.
And I think that's something we all can relate to, right? When you're fully functioning home gym, your fitness center that's inside your home that you have a dedicated room for is all the way downstairs, but your room is upstairs, so you gotta walk. These aren't problems that real people have.
I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that.
And for me, I think it's just how they so casually complain about these things without realizing, without thinking like, oh, this kind of makes us sound unlikable. They've gone from maybe being this like relatable family who does relatable family things to being this spectacle. That's kind of what it is now. That's why I'm curious watching these videos. It's like, look at this fucking house. It's beautiful. It's huge.
She loves her new house.
You might be thinking, I'm sure I'll get comments about this, like, oh, you're just jealous. Yeah, of course I'm fucking jealous. Look at this shit. Later in the video, here's another
that would be
example
good,
of like
wouldn't
a brag and a
Because
complaint
Wonder Woman,
rolled into one.
in some of her, canonically, in some of her stories, she does not have,
It's a lot harder than it looks, Ace family.
It is. Super
she
hard.
is,
Look how long this pool is.
Tice, do you have any idea how
she's
hard
made of
it was
clay
to
in
do
some of the
what I just
stories.
did?
I actually
had
love
to
that part of the
swim
story. I love that she's made of
so
clay.
far 'cause the pool's
There are
so
some comics where
big.
she's like
It's
Zeus's
every
kid.
other extraordinarily wealthy
Did everyone
person
leave
on
when
the
I started
internet.
talking?
They always try to make it seem like, no, we're humble. We're just like you.
Oh,
we're
that's
normal
like-
people too. Like when they're showing off their closet.
And you guys know we have a lot of stuff just in general. Like he has so many shoes. I have a lot of clothes. Well, I don't have much clothes, but I just feel like this might not be enough space for Austin's shoes because he has so many.
But what if she has no belly
Ace
button
family.
because she's made of
Probably have,
clay?
like 3 pairs of shoes. Catherine, she over-exaggerating stuff, you know.
Guys, no. She's lying. I just have like a couple pairs of shoes, okay? Don't watch any of our other videos where I've recorded footage of how many shoes I have, and it's very obvious that I have a shit ton of shoes. Don't worry about that. And it's like, dude, if you like shoes and you have a lot of shoes, that's fine.
I think
You're
I
rich.
made
If you
her-
want to spend money on shoes, you can do that. But don't also stand there and be like, guys, I'm not materialistic. I don't have a lot of shoes. I just wear
Trying to think
Gucci
how to
all
do
the
this.
time, and I have a lot of shoes. And I think that's the thing that rubs me the wrong way with this family and why a lot of other people don't like this family. It's because of how fake they are. Like, they try to act like they're these perfect people, this
I always do
perfect
this.
family, when at this point they're pretty notoriously shady. And then, of course, they also try to act like, oh, we're just regular people. We have regular problems just like everybody else. And then they explain what their problems are, and you're like, wait, what?
I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that.
That's why you're so upset? That's what you're using as clickbait for this video? Really? You know when you lose your wallet? Well, imagine how hard that must be for us, because our house is so big, right? I gotta check like 20 rooms sometimes if I lost my wallet, which should be easy to find because it's so big and fat and filled with money. You think other people are gonna relate to this? You think people are gonna watch this and feel bad for you? Clearly they don't, because they think so little of their fans. Because there was another video where they were trying to justify the things they were complaining about and why they were complaining about them, but they only made them worse because Austin said this.
At the same time, too, nobody realizes how hard it is to actually build your own home.
Yeah.
And like what goes into it.
Yeah.
Look, guys, I understand that you all are so broke and so stupid that you could never build your own house like we are.
Nobody ever builds your own house.
Literally, only we know what it's like to build your own house. No one else could know that, and certainly not you guys.
It's real life shit.
Do you really think that no one else has ever built their own home before? What's wrong with you? As shitty as it is, though, like, their fans are so young that this manipulation totally works. You scroll through the comments and they're all like, oh, wow, you guys have been through everything. I can't believe how strong you are for putting up with all this shit, and it's so well earned. And, like, he mentions in another video how the older daughter has seen it all. She's been through everything.
Elle's been through it all with us.
What, you moved from one mansion to another mansion to a third mansion? Is that the adversity that you're experiencing? Is that what you're describing as like, oh man, we've been through it all? Or by been through everything, are you talking about the backlash you've received that was all well-deserved because you guys have done shitty things? Like when you did that charity event and lied about how much money you were going to give away? Like when you filmed Catherine's kid sister buying a dildo lollipop that you encouraged her to buy because you thought it would be funny. Or when you did that other charity event that wasn't actually a charity event because your friend won all the money. I feel like YouTubers do that shit all the time, where they mess up, they get backlash for messing up, and then they try to use the backlash they're getting to garner sympathy. Like, oh, everyone's mad at us. Woe is me. It's like, no, it's your fault. But hey, at least these guys are careful about who they collaborate with, right? I mean, they're always making videos with Jake Paul, a serial abuser, Chris
I'm trying to
Brown.
draw
That
Wonder
definitely
Woman,
helps gain
but
some respect. I don't know. It's just like, I watch their
I think I'm gonna have to
videos
redo this
because
whole
they're
arm.
always number 2 on trending.
I don't want
Like,
to.
They're just shoved down
But
your
I'm
throats
definitely
when you
gonna
go on
have to.
YouTube. And I don't see anything relatable about these people. I don't see anything human about them. Like, I'm not so sure they've ever even watched a YouTube video, because Austin doesn't even seem to know where the subscribe button is.
If you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the family. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the family. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the family.
What is he pointing to? When has the subscribe button ever been above the video? Like, it's weird too, because there's something almost paradoxical about this type of content. There's a lot of people on YouTube who do this, where it's like someone gets really rich from making content, and so now their content is basically just about how rich they are. But like, how did they get rich in the first place?
Thank you.
Because you can't not be rich and get rich from making videos about how rich you are if you're not rich, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know how Rice Gum blew up the way he did, but I feel like at a certain point, most of his videos are kind of just centered around how wealthy he is, you know, all the things he can buy from the money he's made from making videos. But like, is that your videos now? It's just how you're making money from videos? But you know what? I think the fact that this seems to happen so easily makes it only that much more impressive when YouTubers avoid doing this. I think the perfect example of someone who hasn't changed with their wealth is Jenna Marbles. Like, she has been on YouTube forever. She's obviously made a lot of money from YouTube. You can see it. She has a big, beautiful house that she bought, and that's the kind of thing that could drastically change her content. Maybe now it's just like flexing her wealth and showing off all the things she can buy. But that's not at all what's happened. She hasn't changed her content at all. Like, look at her videos. They're so weird and funny and original. Like, her big, beautiful house is just the background of her videos. It's not the subject of her videos. But unfortunately, it's rare. You know, for every Jenna Marbles, there's 3 Rice Gums, 4 Ace Families. And not even all of them are bad people. It's just like an unfortunate byproduct of getting really successful, as you completely change as a person sometimes. You know what though?
See you,
Fuck
random
all
gamer.
this. I'm tired of complaining. Because yeah, the Ace family may have a nice $10 million, Jesus Christ, $10 million house, but whatever. I don't care about that, because you know who else has a nice place? Me. This is a 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah, and you know what? I think it's time I show it off with a house tour.
So this is a toilet.
Although I do like the
One thing I think that's kind of funny about the Ace
she's like
family is that their
symbolically
pursuit
Wonder Woman. I'm talking
of
about Wonder Woman.
flexing
I do like the
because
idea
of
that
their
she's symbolically
insistence on
Suze's child,
showing
because
off
he
the
brought her to
outside
life
of
with
their
like
house.
the
They've doxed
clay,
themselves
with like the bolt of
3
lightning.
different
She's like,
times. Just
he's
don't
like,
film
that's my
in front of
kid,
your
but only like
house.
the way it's like,
And then people
technically I
won't
brought her
know
life,
what
but
your
she is
house
made of
looks like,
clay.
but they can't,
Like, I like
because
that.
it's
I
more
like that
important
lore.
that people see how big their
Oh, the
house
story
is,
the stories
than
I
that
read,
they have privacy. Anyway, what I'm saying is they
the
may
one
not
didn't go
care
back into her
about
backstory,
privacy,
but
today's sponsor does.
the one I did, she's Zeus's kid.
I got a haircut. Most people care about privacy. I'm sure you do, right? If it wasn't for privacy, I could see your bare butt
I remember
right
shirts
now.
and bitches
But I
and
can't
when
because pants. What if I told you that... Hey guy, welcome back to the world's best and also worst website. Someone I've never really talked about, but have always been a little embarrassed to share this platform with,
I think, yeah.
is
that's what the-
JStation, who many of you may know is a guy who
Hey.
exploits celebrity and YouTuber deaths for internet views.
One of my favorite things about Mac Miller is he dated Ariana Grande. And hell yeah, I put ads on this shit.
This is someone who also, just last month, pretended to buy human slaves off the dark web in a video that had the hashtag slave in the description. You know, when you're just browsing the slave hashtag to find fun new content. But now, congratulations are in order, because recently JStation managed to set a new personal record for negative attention by faking his girlfriend's death.
Let's smash the like button right now, guys. 1 like equals 1 prayer for election.
Dear God. Where did you go? And at first, he was getting away with it, because aside from the reputation he's earned from his entire body of work so far, no one had any reason to suspect that he was lying about this. And even if they did, there wasn't any proof. Until there was. The YouTuber Some Ordinary Gamers, feeling heartbroken for Jay, having gone through a similar situation in the past, wanted to be absolutely certain of the truth. So he did a little bit of investigative work. He looked up the site of the crash, nothing there. No news reports from the area, despite it supposedly taking place on a pretty major highway in Toronto. No mention of her death online by family members, or seemingly anywhere other than in Jay's videos. He then took it a step further. He called the local police in the area of the crash and asked if there were any reports of a fatal car accident involving someone named Alexia. There were none. So either every member of the police force took a vacation at the same time, or she's not really dead. The truth starts to leak out. Uh-oh, Jay's in trouble. Not willing to accept defeat yet, he follows up the first video with an equally heart-wrenching drive to the site of the crash.
Oh my god, she must have crashed into the sign.
Can we just take a moment to acknowledge how absurd this is? They set up this fake memorial in the middle of the snow, then drove a couple miles away so they could pretend to be driving to it.
I bought her these roses.
And all of this for nothing, because the cracks are starting to show. The commenters have caught on, more videos are starting to come out about the situation.
She's gone. She's gone.
This is too fake.
It's too bad.
I was half expecting her to pop out of that fucking Egyptian sarcophagus behind him.
But the real tragedy here, in my opinion, is that this premature revelation of the truth got in the way of Jay's initial master plan, which is so genius. I can't believe it didn't work.
What if we fake your death, do a skit on YouTube, pranking everybody just to gain traction on the Dream Team channel?
This gives you 2 free videos of pure sad with Ed.
Then we were gonna do a Ouija board video, which I did.
My dead girlfriend. My dead girlfriend right now.
And then finally, the grand finale. Bring her ass back to life.
We were gonna call her at 3 a.m. and we were gonna resurrect her.
And no one would suspect a thing. See what I'm talking about here? It's a foolproof plan. All they were gonna do is resurrect a human being for the first and only time ever, and no one was gonna have any follow-up questions. Not the police, not scientists. He's since tried to imply that if Alexia hadn't come clean about being alive, then everything would have turned out fine.
She ruined my entire life, this girl.
No, she isn't what ruined the plan. The plan is what ruined the plan, you idiot.
It was her dream to get 1 million subscribers, so...
What? Let's try to reverse engineer this idea for a second. Your goal is to get more followers on your second channel. So your brain tells you, one of us should die. I am in awe of the decisions that had to be made for Jay Station to get himself into this situation. To be trapped inside his mind is a prison sentence that I wouldn't wish upon even the worst criminal. And I know that this has been covered ruthlessly up until this point, but I do want to point out how pathetic and gross this is to try and manipulate your audience into thinking that someone is dead. Not just dead, but that they died from a drunk driver.
Do a skit on YouTube, pranking everybody.
That's not just like a all funny YouTube skit. That's so insensitive, dude. You are making light of a horrible tragedy just for your own personal gain.
Go subscribe to that channel right now, guys.
There's really not a word strong enough to describe how scummy that is. But the story continues. The truth. Alexia fires back. Jay Station retaliates. Oh my god, how long is this gonna go on? Finally, after several days of airing out their personal grievances with each other in a hilariously public setting, they seem to have moved on, and they're both back to business as usual. And you know, if their plan was to bore people out of caring about the situation by posting these 25-minute he said, she said confessionals, well, by golly, I think it worked. Most people have lost interest. So what we're left with here is 4 videos of whining, crying, and pointing fingers at each other. You'd have to be insane to sit through all 97 minutes of this. So I did. Let me summarize it for you. Now, obviously, neither of them want to take the blame for this, and they're in an interesting situation where because there's 2 of them, they don't necessarily have to take accountability. They can just point fingers at each other and say, well, don't worry about what I did, guys, because the other person's worse.
Let me tell you guys exactly what happened with all these my girlfriend's dead videos.
I don't understand, like, how messed up my life used to be. Like,
His first video about the situation is essentially just a sob story.
in the middle of fucking
I
ghetto
like her
and shit.
character. I used to watch the
about things and really own up.
I used to watch the Justice League show, the old animated one. Well, it's not old, but the animated one, and I liked her. I didn't like her. She was okay. I liked her because she was a girl and I'm a girl. But now that I'm reading her comics, I do love her character. I like how she's like this strong woman and then she's like, oh, but her real strength is in her kindness. I think that's cute. I like it.
Up to the situation.
I've read
and instead he's just crying
4
in a closet
Wonder Woman
because
comics.
His girlfriend's gone and his childhood was bad.
The library that I live nearby, it doesn't really have a lot of
doesn't justify being a bad person. Plenty of
doesn't
people
have a lot
have
of
had rough
comic books at all.
upbringings and aren't awful because of
At
it.
least
You're
not
trying to use
adult
it to
ones.
remove blame,
They have a
as if
little
everything
nice
you've
little
ever
section of
done
kid ones
is
though.
excusable because 12 years ago you got bullied.
Ended up going to jail because of drinking.
Like, that's a really interesting way to word that. You didn't go to jail because of drinking. No one just has one beer and then gets arrested. What I assume he's saying is, one time I did something illegal while drunk, but therefore it's not my fault, it's the alcohol's fault. See the pattern here of not taking responsibility for anything? He is adept at shifting blame, and you'll notice even more of that later on. But he does slip up at one point and basically admit to orchestrating the entire stunt himself.
So we thought of the idea. Actually, I thought about the idea.
The whole thing was her idea, which is to say that she was in the room when I told her about the idea.
She ruined my entire life, this girl. I miss you so much. But now my entire life is ruined. I want you back.
Oh man, he is really going through it right now. But hey, at least he's got his friend Ahmed.
Forever, I'm grateful for Ahmed Mo. He helps me with everything. He is down for me.
What's the generation? When I was a kid, I actually had a girlfriend and she passed away. What's the generation? Witches are actually super scary. When I was a kid, I had a grandma babysitter and guys, she used to whip me all the time. So I'm really scared to go see the grandma.
He is a true guy.
But enough funny business. Here is the line in this video that stands out to me the most.
I expected all this to stay on YouTube. And it didn't. I expected all this to stay on YouTube.
What? There is so much inside of that one sentence. What an insightful glimpse into the way this maniac thinks about YouTube. That all of this is just content. That it has no connection to the real world whatsoever. Ghost fart at 3 a.m. is just content. I'm with you on that one. Proclaiming the death of a human being to millions of people, you didn't think that would seep into the real world at all? Like her family, who you didn't bother to notify beforehand? You didn't think they'd be concerned at all about their dead daughter?
After the first video that we posted together when I said she died, it was all good. And then she got phone calls from her parents, and her parents didn't like it.
I just can't wrap my head around this situation here. This is someone who's so sucked into this content factory that he's created that he doesn't even recognize real life anymore.
I told her that her parents, it's none of her business what we do online. I don't mess with his dad's business. He shouldn't mess with ours.
And it's because he's never received real consequences for his videos in the past, so he doesn't see it as something that affects real life.
And never was happy until now, until I met Alexia.
To sum this video up, Jay thought that based on his past experiences, he could just come out all somber, play the victim card, oh, I do bad things, but that's not my fault, and he'd be fine. But I don't think he expected Alexia to fire back as hard as she did.
Jay told me that he does not want me to have Instagram. He does not want me to have Facebook. He deleted all my contacts in my phone. I felt really controlled by him, and I felt like he was trying to isolate me from my friends, from my family. One time he literally threw and whipped an iPhone at my face, and then the second time he grabbed me off the couch and threw me to the ground. He does not know how to control his anger, and he lashes out on people for no reason. Like, if I didn't do exactly what he said, he would just get so mad. The times that he was mean to me, it's just like he was so mean. He would even kick me out of the house every single time that he was upset at me. He would just kick me out, not even give me keys to come back. He was just like constantly trying to make him happy. He literally told me on more than one occasion that he thinks that it would be better for my dad to die because then I would actually start working harder.
There is a lot to unpack in her 2 response videos. She throws out assault allegations, which I'm pretty sure have since proven to be valid because he just got out of jail last week.
I just got out of jail right now.
She also describes situations and shows accompanying texts that make it clear he was a very vindictive and controlling boyfriend.
You're gonna go from everybody thinking you're dead to a month later, everybody not even knowing you exist.
And while the blame should be partially shared between the two of them, because by being in these videos she was clearly complicit in making them, I also understand how a controlling boyfriend could have coerced her into doing things in spite of her reservations.
She was nervous. Well, I told her it didn't matter.
Like, at one point he tries to use this clip as proof of her willingness to help.
Here's the video of her actually giving me her voice to use in that video.
You just whisper it.
So
Can you whisper it? This is the last thing I have to do.
She was 100% down with these videos.
He's literally like harassing her in her sleep until she says her line. What did you think this would prove? Keep in mind, this is someone whose other ex also came out a few months ago and accused him of similar things, also showing texts that make him look crazy and violent, even showing a video of her phone that he broke while mad at her. And if all that wasn't enough, Jason the Station, who turns 30 years old today, actually, happy birthday by the way, just a few years ago, flew all the way from Canada to Texas to spend the night with a 17-year-old fan.
I made sure to stay up all night because I was paranoid. I wasn't sure what he was going to do.
I love all my female fans.
Weirdly, this revelation is not totally surprising. Manipulative guys tend to target younger girls because they're easier to take advantage of.
Yeah, he definitely knew what he was doing, but at that moment in time, I just didn't really think of it as anything. So I guess I was just really, really starstruck.
Now, thankfully, this girl said that nothing happened between the two of them, so it isn't technically illegal.
Oh, thank
that he
you.
did this. It's just sketchy. I don't know why he
When
would
I
do
made,
that. I don't know why a 27-year-old man would fly internationally to hang out with a teenager.
When I made
feel like he definitely
Starfire,
would've done something
I just found a
when he was
thing
18
on
because,
Pinterest
he's
of like
more
all the
flirtatious
Starfire
in
animated
person than he
animated
is in videos
Starfires,
for
and I
sure.
just
So based on the
picked the parts I liked
consistency of his
most.
behavior and the
And that's what I
sketchiness
kinda
of his
did with
actions,
this.
It's pretty hard to watch these videos by Alexia and not
But I
believe
still
what she's
haven't
saying.
figured
Obviously,
out
quite a
how
bit
I
of this
want
has to be taken at face value because there isn't always
hair
only
to
concrete
go.
evidence for everything that's ever happened.
I don't know,
But
I
it
kinda like the
definitely feels
triangle, but then I
genuine.
also
She's
kinda
clearly
like the,
very raw and emotional. And when you compare that to the fairly large body of her acting work on this website, I'll just say there's a pretty noticeable
like the war thing.
Dark web mom was insane. When we ordered the dark web mom, we also saw a dark web
Oh, maybe I
dad.
can
I'm just
do,
nervous that she's gonna be like crazy or something, like the dark web brother.
I can
Even
do
after all the dust
this.
had pretty much settled, Jay was still finding ways to make things worse for himself. He's been doing this incredible self-own where he gets really defensive about people accusing him of lying about this, the police report. So he sort of like brags about having been arrested.
Jay committed assault on Alexia Morano.
This is, of course, contradictory to what he said in the past.
I never hit a woman in my life. Warrant for arrest.
I've never hit a girl in my life.
Use a weapon, namely a cellular telephone.
Okay, so maybe you didn't hit her, but you threw a phone at her and possibly your other ex-girlfriend as well? Is that supposed to be better? Because that just kind of seems like a loophole to me.
Anybody online, they keep on saying, yo, Jay's lying. Call the police department, there's no warrant. So Jay's a liar. Bro, this is why you're not respected.
But it's fascinating that he's more concerned with not being seen as a liar than he is about being arrested for battery.
They're saying, I'm committing a crime by telling people I was in the army?
Bro, get your facts straight. The only crime I did was assault.
This is why you're not respected.
What Jay has done here is indefensible. But as I was talking about earlier, with internet drama, you don't have to be perfect to win. You just have to seem comparatively less
Did the
bad
Greeks
than
have
the other person
tattoos?
involved, which is why he has continued to fire shots at Alexia even after she has completely
Ooh,
stopped
did the Greeks
talking
have
about it. In one of his
tattoos?
recent videos, he bought a new girlfriend off the dark web, as one does. But it's very obvious that this video
Did
is
Greeks
another not-so-subtle
have
attempt at
tattoos?
making Alexia out to be the worst person here. I
But
mean,
then,
this
oh,
character
if
is
the
clearly
Greeks didn't have
supposed to represent
tattoos,
her, but
she
in a
could have
way that's
gotten it with
visually
like,
crazy. She
with
has
like,
the coronavirus, I
with
guess.
Steve,
She's holding a sledgehammer
the
because
military.
that's what a man with the brain of a
Her
child
like,
thinks a
not her main
crazy
love.
person would do. And
Is
the whole
he
video
her
is
main love
them
interest?
recreating things from their relationship.
Why do you want a YouTube channel?
Because I want money.
What?
So
Yes, the insane person is
from
definitely the one being parodied in this
ancientworldmagazines.com,
skit, not the
Greeks
one who wrote and
had very
produced this
strong
skit.
views on tattoos. Ancient Greeks
Even after all
did not
of
stop
this
them from trying to
bullshit,
understand how tattoos
profiting
was.
off her fake death, assault
What,
allegations
what,
from
what if
multiple
she got a
women, even after
tattoo?
this has
What's an army
escalated
tattoo?
far past the point of insanity. The most
What's it?
frustrating thing
Wouldn't that be so
is that
cute?
none of it fucking
Just she goes to the military with Steve. She helps fight, and then they're like getting tattoos, and she's like, "I'll get a tattoo, sure." And then they get like matching tattoos. What was it? World War II? Is that? Again, I only know this stuff. The Justice League animated series, and then Justice League animated series, and then I think the Justice League movie. I remember watching that and being so confused because I was like, because the art style was different. Justice League Apocalypse? No, Apocalypse. It was one with Darkseid, I think. World War II. Tattoos. Maybe I should put history. I want to know who's getting a World War II tattoo. Unless it's like a history book or something. I don't want to see it. Yeah. Oh my god. Maybe she gets it on her like bicep. Would you get on designed by Owen Jensen, tattoo artist? Funny as fuck. Wonder Woman just has an eagle tattoo. Cool. I wish I could do that. I can't do it. Yeah, canonically, I'm calling it right here. She has this tattoo because of Steve. Is that his name? Or am I just thinking of Captain America? There. Now I just need to figure out what her hair should be. I like her with curly hair. But I think that's just because I have curly hair. Trying to figure out. Maybe just. I hate to say this, but I think maybe she should just have straight hair. The Greek women. I don't know anything about ancient Greek. It's like wavy, right? All the bus maker hair looks wavy, so. Ooh, she has it like tied in a ponytail. I'm gonna give her wavy hair. Because I don't like her with just like perfectly straight hair. But she has it like braided or something. I remember sandwiches and crumble lemon. What's this bump right here? What was that supposed to be? Oh, her hair's braided on the side. I guess I could put a braid like right here. Katniss Everdeen. No, I won't. And then the star. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. I fucking hate drawing stars. Does Wonder Woman have a last name? I know her name's Diana. Jesus. Not tonight, babe. It's 12 o'clock. I'm tired. I was tired when I started this, but I wasn't gonna go. I was just on my phone reading fanfic. So I just decided to, sketch. I should take a picture of this. But Wonder Woman, I gotta get better at I either should have made her, I should have just done a bigger piece, so then just have it like cut off at the waist, or I just need to get better at sketching out the whole pose before I get too deep into detail, because that was my problem. And by the time I already got like done with here, by the time I already got done with the chest, like the arms and stuff, I didn't realize then that it was the legs were too short. So then I had to cut them off. Themis? Diana Themis? Temis? Temis? It's not Timus. Because it's Themyscira, right? Themyscira? No, but I think lore-wise, Wonder Woman is way more interesting than Batman and Superman. I don't think they always use her wisely, though. I think it's very easy to make her a man-hating, backwards woman instead of like the kind character that she truly is. Like because she is old. She's older than all of them combined. She's literally she might as well be playing with children. But I haven't read a lot of comics either. I haven't read a lot of her comics, I should say. I haven't read a lot of my favorite character is Peter Parker, but that's just because I watched the Spider-Man movies when I was a kid and I really liked them. I first watched what's it? Toby. I want to say Tobey Maguire, but that's not right? But I first watched, what's the director's name? Sam Rier. I first watched those ones, like the original Spider-Man movies. And then I would always skip it though. I would always skip to the Spider-Man parts because that's the only parts I was interested in. Like the first couple times I watched the whole movie, and then I was like, come on, get to the good part. I did not care about Mary Jane, did not care about Ben, did not care about what's her name? What's his aunt's name? Aunt, it's not Mary. I forgot her name. So that's no good, but I forgot her name. What's her name? What's Peter Parker's? Aunt May. I forgot, yeah. I didn't care about Aunt May. I just wanted to see Spider-Man swing around. That's all I was there for. I watched all three, too. I don't think I liked the third one, though. I watched it. Tobey Maguire. It is Tobey Maguire. Dude, I was like, I don't know why, but I thought that was the Home Alone kid for a second. But yeah. And then I think I liked Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man better. But because there was more, because I didn't like Spider-Man. I didn't like Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't know what AUT is. I'm sorry, random gamer. Hi, Arias. But yeah, I really liked Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man. But I watched Tobey Maguire's movies more because there's more of them. And I didn't like Spider-Man 2. I hated that they killed Gwen. And then I hated that, like, I just felt bad for the supervillain. Yeah, I think if we had, if Tom Holland, because I think Tom Holland, out of all of them, is the best at playing Spider-Man, but Andrew Garfield, I think, had got like the closest character-wise. Because my problem with Tom Holland Spider-Man is they really made him rely on Iron Man and the Avengers. And what the selling selling point of Spider-Man is that he's like the first kid superhero by himself. And in making him rely on Tony Stark, they kind of lost a lot of his agency and a lot of his interest. It's like, yeah, I could swing around rooftop to rooftop if I had a rich man just walking in my room. But that was weird. But yeah, so like, but I think Tom Holland plays him the best. I think at least he has better writers. Because the quips did not land for me. I love Andrew Garfield. I think he was also good. I think he played like he wasn't like a nerd, but he did play like the weirdo skater boy pretty good. But yeah. So it's like, but yeah, I think Tom Holland gets that anxious teenage boy energy right. Like constantly making jokes in like bad situations because he's like scared or something. You can really feel that. And also, it feels like all the Spider-Man movies aren't about Spider-Man. I don't mean to whine, but like all the Spider-Man movies are just like always about someone else. The Marvel ones at least. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just. But also, I stopped watching Marvel movies after, I think, was it Endgame? It wasn't. The one where they all die, the one that's the snap happens, because you guys don't know what snap is. Because the one the snap happens, I need to go to bed. Anyways, when the snap happens, I stopped watching. Like, all the characters died, I was like, this is not for me anymore. And it sucks, because then all the good Marvel movies started coming out. Captain Marvel... No, I watched Captain Marvel before. The Marvels, Captain Marvel 2, Black Widow, and like, from what I understand of the Marvel timeline, a lot of the movies that came out now, you don't like Tom Holland? I have no personal opinion of him. He's with Zendaya, so he can't be that bad, because I like Zendaya. This is a Casey Undercover household. But, what was I saying? Yeah, from what I understand of the Marvel timeline, Black Widow should have came out earlier, and I do think that, because now that it came out now, I didn't watch it, and from what I've seen, is it even about her? Or is it about her sister? But I do think they screwed over Scarlett Johansson by not letting that movie go out earlier. Because I would have loved Black Widow. I would have loved seeing Natasha Romanoff. But it did it too late, and I got burnt out, I think, at Endgame. I was like, I can't. Because they had me crying in that theater. I can't go to movie theaters. That's also another problem I have. I cannot go to movie theaters. I'm too loud. I like to talk too much. That's why I don't watch movies with my family either, because I'm like, no. I react audibly. Like, I had to like bite my tongue in the movies. I watched Captain Marvel in the theaters too. I liked Captain Marvel. Was it like the best movie I've seen? No, but it didn't have to be. I think I liked it. It was good. What are my other Marvel takes? Captain Marvel going back in time was stupid. Not Captain Marvel, Captain America. I never watched the Marvel Peggy Carter series or whatever, but I do think him going back in time is a cop-out. I like that Sam Wilson's Captain America. I don't watch any of the movies anymore, so I don't know anything enough about it to make any opinion, so I'm not going to. But I like that character path for him. I just hate the concept of Captain America going back in time when his entire character is being a man out of time. Like, you took an interesting character and a very interesting premise. Like, it's a very interesting story. Captain America 1 is very interesting. At least I think it is. Maybe I'm making something revolutionary that isn't. But, like, if you took the most interesting part about Captain America, he's a good man who served his country. He died, and then he came back in literally the future. He's a fish out of water in such an extreme way too, and there's like no going back. But now they retconned all that. I think that was stupid. Tony Stark dying. I liked Tony Stark in Avengers because I thought it was funny, and I do think I like RDJ, but I don't know how about him dying though, because it's like it's hard to take it seriously when you keep bringing back characters. Neither have I. I haven't watched a Marvel movie in years now. Literally since Endgame came out, I have not seen a Marvel movie. I've seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I think that's what Sony needs to be doing. They need to stop making these stupid live-action movies. Go back to 2D animation, go back to 3D animation, and just crank. Because Spider-Man has, because they own all the Spider-Man properties. They all own all the Spider-Man characters and all the villains, the bad guys, the good guys. And there are a lot of interesting characters there. I don't know why they don't just make movies about them and then just make them good. How hard is it? They keep going out with this crap, Craven, fucking Morbius. And the problem is, I don't know about Morbius, but Craven is a Spider-Man villain. You can't make a character movie about a character when their entire character revolves around someone else and they not add that person in. You know, it's like, and I think maybe they could have done it if they just let him, because they also have this weird thing about not letting villains be villains. And it's like, let them be bad people. Like, you don't have to stop trying to like make anti-heroes, you know? Anti-heroes are funny because they're like, I think some of them, I haven't seen a lot of them. The only ones I can speak to are the ones pre-2019, 2018, 2020. I haven't seen any ones now. I think some of them get good reviews, but I don't particularly care to find out or anything. Maybe I will. I also don't know what's released. Alright, I'm gonna go, man. I probably want to. Oh, I hate staying up late. This is the problem with staying up late. You stay up too long, and then your brain's like, well, you're not going to sleep. So when you go to sleep, it's like, I'm trying to go to sleep, and the brain's like, no, you're not. We're gonna stay up now. It's like, well, it's time to go to bed. And your brain's like, it's not. And it's like, who do you think you are? But good night. Bye. I'll probably stay up and read some fanfic or something for another freaking hour. Where's my bonnet? Bye. Bye, random gamer. Bye, random gamer.